How's it going, you guys? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the interactions between yerba mate and your brain's neurotransmitters. So I've been drinking tea, and I've been drinking yerba mate of various qualities for the past, it's been what, 5 years now? I have been experimenting with high quality loose leaf varieties of multiple types of tea: green tea, black tea, oolong tea, white tea. I've drank in guarana. I have drank in plenty of different types of coffee, and depending on the origin and the way it's roasted and other things, coffees have different effects, whether you want to believe it or not. And different yerba mates and some a lesser known drink called goyusa, sold under the brand name Runa in the U.S., which is actually a cousin of yerba mate from a holly tree. So I've been drinking yerba mate and different types of teas of all kinds for quite some time, and I do feel like I'm quite the expert on this, despite the fact that I am a Westerner. But I've studied the pharmacological reactions between tea, neurotransmitters, and physiology for quite some time now, very extensively. So when I first started getting into yerba mate, what drew me to consuming this plant is the extreme benefits on the body and the mind, and more importantly, the mind. And I have a video clearing up the confusion about linking yerba mate to cancer. And you should go check that out. Search it up on, Chalice of Immortality, and then yerba mate and cancer in the search bar, and you'll find it. Long story short, don't worry about it. Or drink it green and not roasted if you're really concerned. So I'm actually drinking Rosamante yerba mate right now. Let me tell you something. So, dopamine, okay. I have a subscriber ask me about dopamine's reaction with yerba mate. And so various teas generally have different polyphenol compounds, plant nutrients, antioxidants, and things, such as in green tea you have, ECGC, epicoliamingalate. I don't know how to pronounce that, but you know what the fuck I'm talking about. And what it tends to do is it interferes with different enzymes of dopamine production. And what I believe it does is it potentiates the conversion of L-dopa into dopamine. Okay, so from my experience, herbs with these types of compounds can tend to cause anxiety in many people who have dopamine imbalance. And specifically, if you're a highly stressed person, if you watch my dopamine catecholamine conversion video where I explain all the basics of dopamine conversion and how it's created from food in your body, what you'll know is when you're stressed, dopamine converts into adrenaline, okay, through cortisol and SAMe. So the thing is, when you're consuming plants that upregulate dopamine and that increase the conversion of food into dopamine, what's happening for a lot of people is they live very stressful lives, and they have a tendency to overthink, and they just have patterns of thought that reinforce anxious tendencies and habits. And this can actually upregulate the production of adrenaline, and downregulate dopamine. And what I mean is, adrenaline is a direct end result of dopamine production. So when you're producing a lot of adrenaline, that adrenaline is literally converted and created from dopamine. So you're turning dopamine into adrenaline if you're chronically stressed. And this is primarily chemical, but it's predominantly your thought patterns, your habits of thought, which you can change, and your overall coping mechanisms with stress in general. So for people who are extremely stressed, you can still consume yerba mate and caffeinated beverages, but the key is dealing with your stress. Okay, and so you can take compounds like mucuna or velvet bean and ashwagandha, which can actually help you produce more dopamine because, for one, they lower prolactin and they balance dopamine through various mechanisms, especially mucuna, and they also downregulate the production of cortisol, which can have some side effects like um, lethargy and things. But when you consume plants that upregulate dopamine, like yerba mate, so it lowers cortisol, but helps to increase dopamine. And so what that means is more dopamine and less adrenaline. So your dopamine will not turn over and be converted into adrenaline if you take these cortisol calming herbs. And so any kind of herb um, or lifestyle or thought pattern hack that's going to lower stress, especially lower cortisol. It's been clinically proven to lower cortisol, like meditation and breathing, and various herbs like ashwagandha and holy basil. It's going to lower cortisol, which is going to help your body to retain more dopamine. So anyway, as far as yerba mate is concerned, there are plant compounds and nutrients, antioxidants in yerba mate that help to boost the production of dopamine. And different types of yerba mate are going to have different effects on your body. If some yerba mates have more of certain types of nutrients than others, okay, different yerba mates have different ratios of nutrients, and these ratios matter. Certain polyphenol compounds in yerba mate can promote relaxation, which is partly to blame for people drinking yerba mate and feeling relaxed, but at the same time focused and energized. It has to do with the types of antioxidants in the type of yerba mate and its effects on dopamine production, and at the same time its effects on adrenaline and cortisol. And so it is a fact that there are nutrients inside of yerba mate that decrease cortisol and increase dopamine. That is a fact. But depending on the type of yerba mate, you can have different increases in adrenaline versus increases in dopamine. Okay, and so for people who are anxious, like, look, Rosamante yerba mate that I'm drinking right now is making me feel calm. But you got to keep in mind, I also took some mucuna before I drank this, and mucuna helps to promote dopamine, lower prolactin, and lower cortisol, and so it works in synergy with yerba mate and only enhances the effect. But there are times where I'll drink yerba mate by itself, and if I have food in my stomach and what other herbs I'm taking and my overall state of mind, if I'm overthinking things, especially indecisive thoughts, if I can't decide what I want to focus on at that moment, yerba mate will only enhance that anxiety. So you got to allow yourself to relax. You got to allow yourself to just live life and allow yourself to be in the moment. Allow yourself to let go of ambiguity and indecisiveness, and at the same time enjoy yerba mate for what it is. So Rosamante yerba mate, the red and black bag, which I have a picture on my Instagram, maybe I'll make a video review about it, has made me feel really calm. But there's different types of yerba mate that Rosamante brand has released, so they're all going to have different effects. There's green mate, there's roasted mate, there's special dark mate. So find what works best for you and experiment. And if you have anxiety and things, watch my other videos on anxiety and learn it, and try taking mucuna, try taking ashwagandha. Check out my videos on those. And leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know your experience. And any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Check me out on Instagram. Wolfgang is God on Instagram. And I'll talk to y'all in the next video.